Hey, did you use a picture for your avatar? You look good.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's
I love the
awesome.
Ready Player Me ones. Like they work so well, and it's easy to just move them to whatever.
I didn't give my picture to a machine, so I'm just
But
claymation or something.
again, aside from the red skin, you look pretty close.
I gotta go change my skin tone. I'm like burnt.
The booth looks so cool.
Yeah, that turned out really well.
Aww. What is this pen thing that I have like floating? Oh.
Oh,
Maybe
the
I should just
t-shirt
leave that
launcher.
alone.
The emoji
T-shirt
cannon.
launcher, but it's emotes.
Oh, that's cool. Ooh, business card. How does that work? I had messed with this before, but then apparently the one I had was out of date, so I had to go update that. But all good.
Yeah.
But I never actually. I just kind of like went in, was like, oh, cool, and then that was the extent of my experience with Spatial Ape. I got to go due to the events more often.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. I asked them with all the side loading crap going on. They say they're days away from getting it in the app lab and auto updating, so that'll be nice.
That'll be good. Yeah. I don't sound too echoey, do I? Because I'm in my room that has like not a lot of furniture.
No,
sounds
it's
fine.
sounding really good.
All right, good.
Before we get going, I'm sure you're aware, but we do live stream to YouTube, Facebook, and then we'll use the audio as the podcast. So just so you know,
That's fine.
not that you're not used to the streaming and all that fun stuff. But
Gasp.
For me, I'm gonna look right into the camera, which I think is like right here, the name. Like, fuck you. I fuck every one of you. Oh. Are we streaming live now? Because I was
no, do you want to talk about it?
You cunts.
Damn,
Just kidding.
so
It's
angry.
like, oh, I think I turned into the wrong stream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go shopping.
We do occasionally have people in the audience. If we do, we'll like ask them questions and stuff, but everyone seems to be really busy nowadays. So.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's so cool that you guys have your own like setup now.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
If I click this X on me entering the audio channel, will that kick me out of the audio channel?
No.
Okay, good. Just making sure. It made me nervous.
Thought the same thing. It's permanent.
But if you're ready, I think we're ready. Get going.
Ready?
Yeah.
Born ready. You want to sit by yourself? Or you want to sit by PJ? We only have 3 chairs.
Oh.
Yeah, we couldn't afford another one.
I'm gonna have to get a sponsor for that.
Here's fine. Or I guess wherever looks good.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's cool. I forgot we don't have legs, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So fancy.
Robot mics.
I'm like, I should bring a podcast back just so I can make a booth for it and then never use it ever again.
The one episode.
Yeah. Just to justify having a booth.
If they can make like a basement, like a storage basement, and your booth would be full of boxes. Anyway.
Every week you don't use it, a box just appears.
Did you guys have someone commission someone to make the statues from your logo? Because that's really cool.
Yeah, this is Dot Lady Justice from Pixel Ripped, and our Lady Justice merged.
Oh, okay.
He was kind enough to let us use the likeness.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like seeing it in 3D.
I have to pay you for
Yes.
half of that, Peach. I forgot about that. I owe him money.
Oh, that's exciting.
All right, we got to settle this. We'll be right back.
You want a piece of me?
Well, we'll do the intro and get going, and then go from there. So,
Wait a minute. You got spikes too. She's in the Spike clan.
I do.
I don't know if anybody's ever. You and I are the only ones in the Spike clan.
and you both have
They
red
didn't-
hair.
Oh, yeah.
It was. You're a lot tanner than I am, though.
Yeah, I'm sizzled.
Now I feel super pale compared to you.
Yeah, just look
What
at
you
me.
This could be accurate though, because I was on a boat for all of like 3 hours in the Florida Keys in late July, and this was my color for like 2 or 3 days. It was. I'm that color
Crisp.
as well, so it was rubbing aloe on my arms or healing. Oh, that's gross.
Ugh. Sucks.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to VR Verdict Podcast, episode 95. Wow. Fail. I am PJ.
I'm Wookie.
I'm
This is
Adam Bombody, yay! I like waving to PJ's bald head.
Yeah. So this is the second time you've graced our podcast with yourself. Last time was in December of 2020. It's been a while.
and
Yeah,
months
it's been almost a year. I think we were talking
Yeah.
about like cyberpunk a lot,
Yep,
right?
Yep. We were
It's
picking
like
a
it had
Wookiee.
just come out.
yeah, I was a street kid, and you guys were nomads or something.
That's right. That's right. It's funny.
And I was humping a barbecue because of a light effect. I was like, "Look at the light effect," and I'm like, "I'm humping a barbecue." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming back. now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good times.
So did we talk any VR then? No, I don't remember.
It was an interesting time. I think we just talked a lot about random
Yeah.
some streaming questions. We were bugging you about, streaming, and a little VR and a lot of Cyberpunk because that was brand new.
That's
were
right. I'm
grilling
happy
this-
to be back.
What's that?
I'm happy to be back. I mean, look at you guys. You've got like a booth now. Like you've got an actual, I want to say physical, but it's more like virtual, but you know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah.
a place.
Virtually real,
So that's
physical.
so
Got
awesome.
chairs.
Yeah.
Got you.
Comfy.
Yeah, so how's it? A lot of things have changed since that last time. We'll get into a lot of it, but how are you doing personally? How's everything going?
Yeah, definitely a lot has changed. So well, when was it? In early, like spring sometime, I want to say about maybe 6 months now, I got hired on as the community manager for Live. Well, even before then, I like too many things. I got hired on as a prefect, which is kind of like a teacher's assistant, basically, for a organization called Stream Coach Academy, which helps streamers, content creators, aspiring streamers and content creators learn to grow their brand as a business, or just learn to develop it, learn how to reach out to sponsorships, find their target audience. It's just like kind of basic marketing, but tailored towards streamers and content creators. And then I was like, cool, I have like a kind of like a normal job again, because before it was just making money off of streaming and YouTube videos and prayers and so I was like, all right, this is kind of nice. Yeah, and then a couple months after that, I saw that Liv was hiring a community manager position, and I was like, I'll try. I didn't know. I was like, I'm not sure who else is applying or how qualified I'd really be compared to other applicants, but I applied and I got the job, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Now a lot of things are happening at once, but it's good. So yeah, I guess I still try to. I don't stream as much just because I don't have time. But I still at least try to keep up with the YouTube channel, get tutorials out there to be able to still help people get into VR and getting into VR content creation. But it's interesting, almost priorities switching from, mostly me, and my content or whatever to helping other people. Because, Stream Coach, they want to have people grow their brand, grow their business, and then Live provides the tools basically for VR content creators to make their thing. So it's a switch, which I don't mind. It's fulfilling, but for a while it was kind of like I still wanted to remain like relevant or known. I didn't want to lose that like Atom Bomb Body presence, since a lot of what I do now is kind of behind the scenes. But I've made peace with like this. Both of these companies are still aligned with what I'm really passionate about, and that's hoping that if more content creators can grow their VR brands, then VR will hopefully become more mainstream and yada yada yada. So I just had to get over myself.
And to your credit, you kind of did that with your streams. I mean, you still have like an email newsletter. Like you've always, since I've come to know you, and you're one of my favorite VR people, by the way. You're just awesome.
Oh, I don't know how to handle compliments.
Well, that's the only one I had, so we're good.
Okay.
But you've always tried to like help people, and you'd answer questions, and I even asked you questions, and I still have questions. But you were already like helping people with your own stuff, so it's like a perfect fit. So I'm glad you found that. I hope it's
Yeah,
going
and
well.
like to be honest, I never considered myself a very entertaining person. So I was like, well, I guess going for that avenue's out. I can't be like the funny VR person. So I was like, well, what can I do? It's like, well, teaching people, people like always are YouTubing and Googling how to do X, Y, Z. I'm like, I can try that. And it seems to have worked very well because I can't, I mean, I'll try to do the whole TikTok thing, but I just can't, I don't know. It feels too outside of my personality to be like random, spontaneous, wacky, like,
Yeah.
hey guys, check out this thing that I did today. Woo, random or dancing. I don't know. It's way, the energy level I feel like required for like the funny, entertaining TikTok content is like up here, and I'm like a down here. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know.
I'm in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, we're under the table. But it was.
But I mean, go ahead.
Just to point out, like after we did the podcast with you last time, I had you did something really neat that I still kind of cherish. Like you did a 12 Days of Christmas in VR, which you had a bunch of people like sing a line or a verse, and you
Oh
made
yeah,
that was
that's
pretty
right.
cool.
I got to
And
do that
then-
again this year.
My favorite thing was we got to play some, and there's a video not of us, but of you playing Ragnarok. We got to do a match of that, and that was fun.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because the Live Connect event that was today earlier, it's not a huge deal, and I couldn't say this earlier, but there's a panel that a couple of developers did on like how to be able to get your app out to App Lab successfully. And Wanna Dev Studios behind Ragnarok, they wanted to feature a couple creators because that was part of their strategies, reaching out to, I hate the term influencers, but you know what I mean? Reaching out to influencers to get their game out there and known. And I think they showed myself, Matt, like BMF, and I think somebody else, and I can't remember who it was, but it shows like our thumbnail on the bottom, but like then the little description and who we are is all blurred out. But they said, oh, that wasn't us. Like we didn't blur it out. That must have been like the Facebook editing, whatever. But it was still cool. They were so happy to be able to, feature us even for like, a couple of seconds that was there. But that was awesome. I enjoyed that. Super nice. On that team is really kind.
That's awesome. Good to hear that. Hey, Thomas. We have Thomas Kildren in the audience. How's it going?
Hi, good to be here
Hey.
finally.
Just,
know,
if
I've-
you ever
I've-
have comments or questions, just jump on in. Like everything works.
Awesome.
Everything works.
Except
this thing
for
on?
this mic. Yeah.
Coffee ain't working.
That was super fun. Like, I've just been, I feel very grateful to have gotten to meet and talk to a lot of developers now, either through, Atom Bomb Body, the brand, or through Live, the brand. And there's just so many really smart people out there that are working on a lot of creative things. So it only gets me further excited. Now I'm just like, got to get more, VR YouTubers and more VR streamers like up there so we can all just kind of keep talking about this awesome stuff. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it's exciting times.
I'm so dying to try Live, but I'm waiting for the Android app. I don't know if you have any news
Yeah.
on that, but yeah, that's because
But
the Quest is such a pain in the ass to stream.
Oh God, it is. I have a build actually on my phone, but
Nice.
just like with anything else, it so far it's like, oh, it'll work with, these Android phones, but for some reason it wasn't working with like these. So it's always something that comes up, like issues with the segmentive or the auto green screen. So we have one guy, he's super smart, developer on our team that goes by Socks. I think he's like super young. He's 20, I believe, but he started on the Live team even earlier, just as a teen. I'm like, man, this is like a kid genius here. But he's the one that's primarily working on all the mobile builds, fixing anything that comes up, and then working really hard on the Android build and figuring out why things aren't working, and also working with the kind of limited Oculus environment and trying to get away with as much as we can.
Nice.
It's fun stuff.
Has that, and I might lose some. I'm trying to air quotes with my hands, street cred, but I haven't got to watch the Facebook Connect from today. Has anything they announced changed anything the way things work for you guys, or is everything still kind of the same in the background? That
pretty much the
allows-
same. Because I mean, they kind of teased their new the headset that they've been working on that we've kind of seen teasers for on Twitter, the Cambria, I believe, but it's not going to be out this Christmas. I think it's still I think they said a year out or something. Otherwise, most of what I sa's wasn't anything, I suppose, like concerning. It's just very generic-y Facebook, or no, sorry, what is it called? Meta. Generic-y meta stuff now. That's right. Sorry, my bad.
Do you think that's going to stick, that name?
I mean, I think they're going to force it to stick. It's more of a we're meta now than, that's it.
I don't see that appealing. Like, it doesn't appeal to me as a VR person, but as a normal non-VR person, I don't know what that's supposed to mean to them. Like,
yeah, and it's like MetaQuest now, right? It's no longer Oculus. I really like the name Oculus, though. That's so much history, even in just the name alone. Before it got, they were purchased by Facebook, so it's almost a shame to be losing that as well. But
very
MetaQuest.
unique, and like even non-VR people, they know what it is. Like it's meta, but meta can be anything.
Yeah.
It's what?
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. And they have their infinity symbol, which looks slightly drunk. It's a little like floppy infinity symbol. It's like kind of sagging looking, as I call it. But I don't know. Yeah, that's when you've got money.
it happens.
You can kind of do what you want, I suppose. Well, like, regardless of all of the ex-Facebook stuff, I still think the technology is absolutely insane and it's incredible. And I don't know, I'm excited to see what comes out of that, at least, because, we've seen like facial tracking stuff that's starting to come out from, I still want to call them Oculus. I'm going to call them Oculus. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to still call them Oculus. Like facial tracking stuff coming out of the newer Oculus headset, and just I don't know, all sorts of, I don't even know. My mind's blown on how quickly things can be developed. All of the like AR stuff and like pass through, and now you're starting to see that people have like Phasmophobia game versions at home. I mean, it's not Phasmophobia, but essentially it's like now you can have a creepy ghost at your house. And so you shine a flashlight.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play that. Phasmophobia on its own is scary. Now I don't want to have nightmares about being in my own house.
Yeah. I can't open my pantry. I got bit last time.
Yeah. But it's a cool idea. Like, I can still appreciate it for what it's going for. But man, like, I feel like it's only 2017 when I got my first HTC Vive, and that you think about it, it's actually not that long ago.
Yeah.
But it feels like 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's moving quick. I'm all for like new headsets. I don't want one every year myself, but new technology. But I'm still like a very much like games, apps, experience person. Like I still want more of that. Like the headsets are great as they are to me, but and talking to all the wonderful developers like this gentleman over here, just my fear is like them fragmenting. It's right now with the Quest 1 and 2, not even keeping PC VR in the picture. It's hard to make a game for both of those, and if we add another one, then it gets crazy. And
yeah,
so that's
and I've
kinda
got the like casual, more business headsets, or for like watching movies headsets. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like it is kind of the natural progression of things. I think a lot of us, though, who started in VR are to the core like gamers. You know, we like to do that. But I guess it makes sense if they want to appeal to a more wider audience. Like, not everybody's a gamer. Maybe they do want to. They've heard about VR, but they just want to use it for work experiences or just a more immersive way to watch movies and do yoga or whatever. I'd be curious to see how well those types of headsets end up performing in the long run, like whether it does start shifting how people are using VR, or if it's always going to be, you know, mostly us gamers kind of paving the way forward.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's so much.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of it even when you're into it. Like,
Mhm.
I remember getting into VR and we were like, what is this? Like, what? This needs USB and this doesn't, and what's this need? Like, it was a
That's the
lot.
reason that's the first few episodes of our podcast are like, we had a hell of a time buying accessories and figuring crap out. So like, somebody might need some help. So we'll give them a hand. And then
Well,
it's been a while
that's
since
kind
we've
of why I
done that.
started the YouTube channel too, was because
Yeah.
I was a streamer, like a normal desktop variety streamer before I got into VR. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I have a headset. Can I stream this? And then I had to kind of go between like 5 outdated YouTube videos and try to compile information that was still accurate. And I was like, you know what? Once I figure this out, I'm going to make a video to help other people out because they're probably looking for the same stuff. Because there were some videos out there that it was like, this is outdated. This doesn't work anymore. This doesn't work for me. Or like, I don't know. It was just hard to put it all together. I mean, eventually I was able to figure it out, but I'm like, I know there's an easier way of doing this or showing people how to do this.
Yeah.
Granted, it still could be easier, but I think that we're making more advances. Things are getting a little bit easier as we go. As with anything else, the power of content creators, I suppose, and in marketing especially. I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful.
Has there been any? I'm just curious. Like, has your streaming has kind of time to do it and put into it has gone down? Has your like ability to play games and experiences kind of done the same, or do you still get to play quite a bit?
It depends. So sometimes I'll still get like developers reaching out for me to try something, and that's good because then it almost forces me to still keep being able to play experiences for myself because I not only want to help. Well, obviously it's got to be for a game that I think I'll actually like. But I think I'm allowed to say this. Like recently, I got to try a Resident Evil 2 remake VR mod. And that was actually pretty cool. Like I'd already played the regular remake on the pancake version, but if it weren't for my YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't seek it out just because I'm like I don't have time. But because people reach out to me, it kind of forces me to be like, okay, let me try this, and then let me still seem like I update my YouTube channel. It's kind of like it works very well that way.
Yeah.
Streaming kind of hit and miss because at least with YouTube videos, there's not as much prep work, and if things go wrong, it's like, I'll just edit that out, no big deal. But with streaming, especially if it's a mixed reality stream, I'm like, all right, let me try to give myself at least like an hour before the stream just to make sure everything looks as good as possible, because I'm not OCD normally, but when it comes to my streams, I'm like, all right, gotta be that super nice chroma, and then hope my camera's like working fine, not shutting off randomly, because I use DSLR, and all that. Sometimes it's just like even the pre-stream prep is just like, I don't have time. I got, things that I'm working on that I have to finish by now. So YouTube, I always want to try to keep up with, but streaming, I'm like, if I can. I
So
feel
has there
bad at
been
the same
any-
time. It's like one of those, like, I don't want to be, there's a part of me that's always still like, oh, but you want to practice what you preach. And I'm like, I don't have to do that anymore. Or not like that anymore, but like, priorities have changed. I just don't have time
Yeah.
for as many things anymore. But I still like everything I'm doing. It's just time
Yeah.
management can be hard.
And anything video, audio editing, or any aspect takes so much time. Like it's huge.
I'm actually thinking I might just hire an editor so I can get things out even quicker. sometimes I enjoy editing, like when it comes to the fun mixed reality videos, where, like the O Shape and Synth Riders one I did. Like those are fun because I can add little cool effects. But when it comes to the tutorial stuff, it's just kind of like there it is, and just make things not look. It's not like you're adding pizzazz to it or anything. It's just here it is. Not the most fun to edit.
So has there been any good experiences or games or apps that you've run into that you really want to like get into or think about when you're not able to play?
Ooh, actually, I have also been trying to get more into Neos. I think it was Skiva, VR Realm. They took VR Bug and I into Neos for the first time a couple of weeks ago because it was, again, something I had wanted to get into, heard a lot of things about it. I like VR chat and Rec Room, like with friends, but so many people were talking about this, and so I got into it, and it was super nice because they even had one of their the Neos community mods in there too to show us around. I think we only went to maybe like 3 maps because we were all just so busy looking at stuff like objects, like they were taking things out of their inventory and like just showing us this crazy stuff that people have made in the game. Like there's a avatar where you can actually take off the head and the person can actually still see out of the head. You can move it around and you can still control his body. I don't know. It's even hard to describe, but it was absolutely mind-blowing, the things that you can do in that game. So I'm like, man, I got to get into this more. So that's something that I've been like, all right, I want to dive in, actually explore more maps instead of staying in the same map and just playing with toys.
That's funny because Skiva took myself, and we have every first Friday of every month, we have a dev roundtable with like 4 or 5 devs. And we were going to all take a field trip into Neos, and just one night before, we haven't done that yet. Before that, he's like, hey, if anyone has time, do it now. So we did that too. And he was just showing us because I had been in there once for the meta movie, but I didn't get to play around with much. So he was just showing us
The
stuff.
Facebook movie?
No. So that's, I was going to ask those
guys
guys, like, what's going on now? But yeah, just the stuff, like, there was this little tiny Mario 64 head, and you threw it like a boomerang and it'd come back. But as you threw it, he'd go, ah, like in the
I know
Mario
exactly
voice.
what you're talking about.
And you can like make it bigger, and like you can hang on to it, and we were throwing each other like just the stupidest things, but it was so fun.
Yeah, and there's like a Pokeball that you can actually like,
Yes.
go up to somebody and then they'll actually get sucked into the Pokeball. They get shrunk down so they get to see like like a big version of you. I don't even know how this works, but then you can actually throw them back out. It sounds simple, but when you're in there, you can really appreciate like, how does this work? Like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
It's so cool and so
Mhm.
creative.
I haven't tried that one either. I did VR chat once with PJ and a friend of ours we were watching movies with in big screen. But that was a little spooky, so I got to get into Neos and see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That, and I'm excited because I got a friend in. Well, I got to get her to start it, but there's VZ Fit. There's that like basically Google Street View in your headset, but you have these trackers on your bike, so your pedaling will actually like track into real time movement. And there's multiplayer in that. And my friend, she had gotten into VR. She's doing a lot of synth riders and stuff, but and regular just diet. But she lost, I think it was something crazy, like 70 pounds. So as a like congratulatory thing, and for her birthday, and when they had like the Quest 2 sale, I got her a Quest 2. So I'm like, all right, we can bike like in wherever we want in multiplayer together. I don't know, it's crazy that you can do that. Like we can, where do you want to bike today? Okay, let's bike around in Hawaii. Cool.
Yeah.
Like you can do that. And I don't know, it's just so neat. There's so many really cool things that I'm always excited for. And I'm like, I need to clone myself so I had more more
Yeah.
time to like really just deep dive into all of these things. Because I had used that a lot for exercise and I really enjoyed it. But it's like, I had never tried the multiplayer because I'm always like, stranger danger. I mean, I'm sure the people there would probably be fine and you can mute people, but
You just
I
gotta
don't know.
pedal faster and get it. You can get out of it.
yeah. I don't
They have
know.
a road rash mode where you hit them with like low low poly pixel chains. Just that's what I would be doing.
DLC.
Sticking your spokes.
I've said this many times on the podcast, but like you said, we're gamers from the core and all that, but there's a lot of awesome games out there. But what really blows my mind are like all the really crazy apps and experiences that aren't a game at all, but they're like way more creative in a way, and it's just like, holy crap, you can like, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So it's really neat.
It's much more interactive, and you can just do, you could like watch a movie on a big screen at home. You don't have to leave the house. Ew.
Exactly.
And you can watch it with your friends that maybe live, across the country, which is also fantastic. Like I love that. That makes me so happy. Like a lot of my friends, are different states. We might do a meetup like once a year, but realistically, we can't see each other all the time. So being able to hang out in VR is sort of a good replacement enough for that. Because then you feel like you're actually with the person, and you can do stupid things in VR together, and probably touch things you're not supposed to, and mess things up in different maps or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Hey, don't touch the Wookiee there, buddy.
Hands off me, sir.
do like I still look at the creepy PJ head. It is.
Hey, you can touch that one all you want.
Just put $1 in the tip jar. So, oh yeah, you don't have $1, whatever.
Or like,
being as it's the end of October, you got any cool things going on for Halloween, or any cool, like, so many games have updates and like some spooky modes and stuff.
Yes.
You got anything cool you're looking at doing?
I haven't finished it yet, but I was doing a playthrough of, what is it, Afterlife, the Wraith, the Oblivion, or vice versa, the game that has like 1 million subtitles and a title.
Yep.
I was doing a playthrough of that, and that was fun. And then there's also like, I know Boombox VR and O-Shape, they've got like little Halloween decorations or like Halloween themed stuff that they've added to their maps. I'm a sucker for when games add holiday stuff, events or whatever to their game. That makes me so happy. Now I'm just like, man, I can't wait for Christmas too, but it's still Halloween. Halloween hasn't happened yet. But yeah, so as far as like actual, I guess, bigger chunk of gaming, I was playing a lot of the Wrath the Oblivion. And I think it's Wrath the Oblivion Afterlife. I think that's the
Yes.
proper order of the words.
A game PJ can't play because he's scared.
Aww. It's, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, in certain scary games, I just will look down, like, move forward, but look down. Like, if I can't see the thing, because sometimes you can tell when there's gonna be a scary moment because they've got the audio. So I'm like, well, if I don't look at it, but then I forget that I'm streaming. So, what experience is that? Is everyone just sees me looking at the floor?
You want to see my
can't
pee,
help
do
it.
you?
You'll be in the game then. You don't understand.
I was playing last night with Purple Mikey. Hey, Purple Mikey from Twitter, and he's not here. I was just shouting him out.
Waving at the camera.
I was playing Project Terminus for the first time. I'd never played it, and I don't do well with horror, so we got in there. I was trying to stream it and had some issues on the PC version, so I jumped to the Quest, and we were in there like an hour and a half, and I was like hiding behind him, and like some reason he thought I should control the flashlight, so the battery died really fast because I had it on the whole time. But games like Walkabout Mini Golf and 4VR Bowl, like, they have a lot of cool stuff I haven't got to check out yet.
Yes.
So I'm hoping
See,
this
again,
weekend-
even stuff like decorations or like little things they've added to the maps, like, that makes me so happy. I have such a huge appreciation when the developers are just, add little, for those of us who are super love Halloween or love the other holidays, to add that stuff in. But I'm like, oh man, it's like, so sometimes it's just a week of, and then like every game and their mother has stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to, like, okay, which one am I going to do
Take it
when?
away.
Like, I don't want to miss it. It's like a limited time thing, for Halloween. And like,
I wish.
And
they
now
would
I got to
give
thank
the month.
you, because now you're adding to my workload, because I've thought about, I should add all these cute things because it's holiday. And now
People
I've
like
got
them.
more work. More things to do.
but I mean, like, don't prioritize it, right? But it like, once I think you have things that are established and that you're happy with. I feel like it's a nice booster around the holiday times. Be like, oh look, come back to my game because we added Halloween stuff or Christmas stuff or whatever. Like, I feel like it could, depending on how much work goes behind it, like how all out Halloween you're going, it could be a nice little, booster for people to come back or whatever. And I'm a sucker for it.
It's not even me. It's just that all my kids, their teachers know the game that I'm working on, and basically they will send home every single thing that my kid draws. So when he comes home with a stack of papers this big of like pumpkins that he drew, it's like, oh man, I want to add all this stuff into my game. Except, the back end is sitting there sculpting out each pumpkin that he drew, and then I have to make animated, and then add a special effects sprite and some particle effects. Come on!
I was just going to ask too, if he's done any Halloween themed stuff. That's cute.
Mm-hmm. Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Here's Martin Luther King Day. I mean, they do drawings and art projects for everything.
To be fair, though, your game would be hands down the most adorable, cutest thing for that kind of stuff, though. Like,
it really
and
would.
Yes, he's always doing cute stuff, and it's like, stop! Come on, be a kid. Do knifey, stabby, like scary things that a tweener should be doing. Nope, it's cute stuff. It's all cute stuff.
I guess then there is that pressure of like, when you get the stuff, you're like, okay, but Halloween's like in a few days. I mean, depending on how far in advance you get the art, but it's like, you can only have Halloween stuff during Halloween. I guess you could maybe save it for next year, but still, there's that pressure of like, coming up, man.
I have a stack of sketchbooks this high that he's just filled with stuff. And of course, another folder this thick of all the stuff that his teachers have sent home from school. I've got a backlog that, I need to hire somebody to just sit there and model out all the stuff that he drew. And then I can just sit there George Lucas style. Yes, we like that. No, not that. And that's what I need.
That's the dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just for Wookiee's sake and maybe the listeners, Wookiee, you weren't here when Thomas was on the podcast. I know Adam's our guest, but real quick, your elevator pitch of your game, just so the listeners and Wookiee know what we're talking about.
All right, so I'm Thomas. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I'm making a VR game based on the drawings of my son. He's on the autism spectrum, and my whole idea is that it's a platformer exploration game based on his drawings, and there's no real combat, there's no real fighting, but it's all about solving problems and helping others. And the idea is if this game takes off in any measurable way, I want part of the proceeds to go to autism awareness. And if it really takes off, I want to develop a companion app so a parent can use a smartphone or tablet and take a picture of their kid's drawings, and the app will cut, rig, and animate it so a kid could play a drawing of their own in game. With,
that's
disclaimer that I'm not responsible for giant walking penises and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm currently, I've got a vertical slice, and I've been chopping it around. I've been showing it, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback about it. And I'm currently working on a mobile game because, I'm pursuing funding and everything. I'm making a quick, just simple infinite runner, collect letters, spell words. So it's educational, and I'm hoping that I can use that as part of my revenue building, is to just pitch this game as, you like my idea, here, buy my quick mobile game and help boost awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
thanks.
You had the drawings in here as assets, and it was like the cutest stuff that's ever been in here, aside from maybe Adam over here, but
that's too complicated.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I didn't want to actually jump in and start, doing it. I actually came to just ask a couple of questions of Adam Baum.
Go for it.
Yeah, when you're doing your live streams, how long's your setup? How long does that take to get? Because I know you're streaming for 2-3 hours at a pop.
I used to do 4. That
and
was
you have
insanity.
to factor in her costumes.
And that was the next question too, is all the vintage stuff that you wear. Where are you getting all that, the awesome clothes?
Oh, as far as the clothes and stuff, well, some of it was either old costumes, but the actual the vintage outfits, it's not very exciting. Some of them I get on Amazon. But the actual, some of the themed costumes that I have either were just old costumes that I had, or some of them actually used to be some of my mom's old costumes that she's, going through the
Awesome.
Halloween box. And I'm like, wait, don't throw that away because that's like a super generic, like, I don't know, prisoner outfit. You never know. I might be able to, use that in like Phasmophobia, or maybe there's a prison based VR thing. I don't know. You never know. So I'll keep
Prison
a lot of
boss.
that. Yeah, I don't know.
For that that 2-player game, what was it, A Way Out?
Yeah.
If that
Oh,
came to
yeah,
VR,
yeah, yeah.
that would be pretty slick.
And then as far as like my stream prep, it depends on if it's just going to be like normal first person or if it's going to be mixed reality. If it's first person, not too bad, because then I'll just like, I already have my scenes set up, so I really just have to make sure that when I have the headset on, that nothing's framey, nothing's gonna break. When it's mixed reality, maybe a little bit more. Like I probably don't need to do an hour to an hour and a half of prep time, but I do anyway because I'm a mad person. I want to make sure that everything's calibrated perfectly, that everything's chromed out nicely, that I'm going to be getting a good angle, or in some I don't do this often, but sometimes I'll use the like play space rotator, and I have to make sure that I remember to take off my headset and respin it the other way. Otherwise, I'm just going to have a super twisted cable.
Yeah.
But the mixed reality can take a little longer, but usually with those, I know that I can get a little more value out of them because I can repurpose the stream for, YouTube stuff or Twitter stuff or whatever, because they're visually really interesting, but more prep work.
What about when you have a guest star on your stream, like your dog and your Sniper Elite video, which I love?
That is all accidental, but sometimes it makes for great moments. And I'm like, one day I want to buy just one of those full green suits and just have her do a bunch of tricks in mixed reality. But I haven't come around to that yet. I'm like, I just want to make a dog mixed reality like short of some sort. There we go. I can do TikTok stuff, where it's just people love what you call it, like influencer pets. Maybe I can just do a mixed reality dog. I don't know.
Dog head
Who
just
knows?
comes floating in off screen and just. By the way, let me know if my audio is messing with anything, because I've got my
Awesome.
kid in the background. He's playing video games and he's also getting kind of hyper vocal. So if I'm
hear it.
constantly, let me know. Yeah.
It was nice though, because I did remember, I don't know if it was through Twitter or somewhere, but I had talked to you because my brother, he's also on the spectrum. He doesn't have autism, but he's got hydranencephaly. So he was born with not a lot of brain tissue, but mostly brain fluid. So like when I had first heard, I forget how initially I heard about what you were working on, but I was like, that is
Might have been this fine
awesome.
podcast.
It may have been actually, yeah. Nudge, nudge. I don't have elbows, so that effect totally did not work. Oh man. But yes, I loved the idea behind that, and it makes me so happy to hear. And I hope that you get the I don't know what you're going to call it, but when they're able to get the drawings up into the game, that is just fantastic. I love that so much.
Cool.
It's certainly, it's going to require like people way smarter than me that I'm hacking this together. I'm not a coder in any way, shape, or form. So I'm using like these visual state machines in order to get my functionality. And the whole, I hate to say it, but in the gamer world, I'm like the worst because I'm an ideas guy. And I just have enough smarts to get my ideas out to a place where other people can see it. And hopefully I've got enough business savvy that I can take this ball and run with it and get people smarter and better than me to take my ideas and make it into something viable. But yeah, that the whole idea is that even if this goes nowhere, in 20 years, my kid can go into the closet and he can get the Quest and he can put it on and say, hey, me and the old man, we made this together. But yeah, if I can make any type of money and help kids like my son, I mean, that would be the end all be all, because as far as like his condition, he's very mild. He's just limited verbal, and he'll talk if he needs to, but generally he's just a quiet kid and does his own thing. But we go to things like speech therapy, and I see the kids who are really just truly disabled, and I feel for the parents, and there's literally nobody really advocating for them. I mean, maybe Jerry Lewis and his telethons kind of thing, but there's nobody saying, hey, look at this kid and he created this. He helped contribute to, and my kid's learning Unity right now because I've been doing
insane.
this.
Mhm.
It's amazing. And the idea is if someone else can see, oh, somebody like me made this artwork and now he's making games too, that would be the most gratifying thing. It's why I get up at 5:30 in the morning to work on this sort of stuff. It's just,
I love
to sit
that
there with
so
my
much.
coffee and say, someday this will be worth it. Yep.
Mhm. Or even somehow, I mean, again, VR is still pretty new, but getting more VR. Well, there's also like VR and kids. So I guess that's a whole nother thing that would have to be thought about. But I feel like there's so many possibilities to, VR and education. And like you said, being able to sort of more normalize kids or even adults who are on the spectrum. And that would be fantastic. I love that. Everything that you've been doing, been loving it.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so
it's
much.
already worth it. You don't have to wait 20 years for all this to be worth it. It's sounds like it's worth it now. So.
Yeah.
I
Very
mean,
true.
certainly the people's receptions and now that, I'm getting back to showing my game again. Thank you, COVID settling down, I guess, a bit. But last month I did a game expo and just being able to show people my game. And I talked to parents and they see it and they said, oh, my sister's kid, or, I've got a cousin and somebody's on the spectrum. Everybody knows somebody and they're just so appreciative that somebody gets it.
Mhm.
It's just touching. And I certainly wouldn't be in such a position now if I didn't have this thing to help drive me, because all my game dev stuff before, it was crap. I mean, here, let me do like another Fortnite clone. No, this is something that's just
You're
giving
Ubisoft.
me. Yeah.
You actually have like a passion behind this instead of just another like cookie cutter.
Exactly.
thing.
I would be admitting to poor game dev if it wasn't for this. And the fact that I can connect with my son in such a way that ordinarily I wouldn't, it brings something to it. And, at some point, I have a long list of people like yourselves that have helped me along the way to help spread the word. And it's just, I can never repay that debt.
Yeah.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Actually, my hands disappear into my face. So maybe that also.
Fingers are just holes.
Whoa.
But I don't know. I really love when I do get to speak to other people too who are like passionate about what they're doing. And I would argue too, if you're going to be, like community manager or, social media manager for a company, I would hope that you actually enjoy the company you're working for. Otherwise, how are you going to be able to sell it to other people if it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I love everything that Liv has been doing and still is doing. Like even before I got hired for them, I was a partner. So when they did streams, I did some streams on their channel, and I've always been more than happy to create tutorials because I really believe in the things that they're doing. And I don't think that's gonna change really. I mean, granted, they're still funded by investors. We don't have a way to make money yet, but we're kind of working on it. I wish I could share so much more that they're doing, because we have like different teams that are all working on really cool things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's so many really good avenues that we could explore. But it can be challenging also for a startup, as I'm sure probably a lot of us know.
Yeah. Especially in a
Absolutely.
smaller market with, like VR is and all the
Mhm.
dangers that,
Yeah. Slice of VR, and then the slice of that VR that are content creators that
Yeah.
stuff. But,
I think it goes hand in hand, though. I mean, that's something that Liv is working on. Is like, you've got developers who need marketing, and you need you have got content creators who need content. So, and then we give you the tools and the resources to be able to kind of make this full circle thing going on. And that at its core is, what Liv will always stand by is, helping developers be able to get their either showcase their game or market it to many people or in a different way, and then give content creators like actual work. Well, like we did our very first pilot campaign, we worked with FedXR, and I reached out to some influencers to do some coverage to get their game some marketing, and they were paid. It was a paid campaign. So there's like a lot of different directions we can go with this. We still have to get the numbers up, maybe make a nice little pretty deck and see if this is an avenue we want to pursue. But to be able to actually help, I don't want to say help because it's, they're still doing work on their end, creating content for, whatever development, whatever game or brand that needs it. But yeah, to not be like, hey, we have an affiliate code. Not that necessarily anything's wrong with affiliateship, but it's nice to actually get money. Like, no one may admit it, but at the end of the day, of course, it's always going to be nice to get money and get paid for your hard work. So to be able to actually do that for other creators, all right, this is this is good. This is good stuff. A lot of different.
It's like a really good symbiosis, almost like what cycle. Yeah.
It can be challenging. Oh, go ahead.
Mine was an offshoot, so please continue if you guys are in a thread. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying it can be challenging because VR is still considered like quote unquote niche, but I mean with Meta, Meta, Facebook, Oculus, or whatever.
Particular Oculus.
As much as people will talk about them, it definitely has helped VR become a lot more mainstream and known to a lot more. I don't know what you want to call it, like normies or pancake people or desktop pancake normies. People. I don't know, but
I like normies.
Because all of us were just a little bit weird. We
initiated.
We're willing to take on this technology pretty early and see where it goes and watch it grow, I guess.
We're talking about Live and stuff, and I think it might even be the old episode you were on. I think you were talking about Live, and don't they need like an SDK in the game to do the pass-through? Is there a program where they help games integrate that or implement it?
I guess since the last time we've talked, there's been there's different offerings now. There's like Quest on PC and Live Mobile, but yeah, for like a Steam game, the developers would need to add on our SDK, which is pretty much a plug and play. Granted, it depends on the complexity of the game, of course, but we also occasionally work on more custom integrations with developers depending on how involved they want to get. Like right now we're working with Veil VR, which is a sort of futuristic, really cool looking shooter, and they've been nice enough to really let us get our hands dirty. So we're messing with kind of like an auto wall detection. Because like if you play Phasmophobia, for example, you'll see that, as you turn corners and stuff, because Phasmophobia is such a small, tight game, the camera gets stuck behind corners a lot. So this is a problem that we're looking to solve. And so far it's looking pretty good. The camera's able to auto detect and automatically turn, so you don't have to worry about using joysticks. You could still be in the game. Nice. As well as like an auto down the sights basically look. So as soon as if you were to hold your gun out and look down the sights, the camera would sort of switch from a third to oh yeah, I forgot we have those. I lost mine. I don't know where it went. But the camera would switch from a third person to a first person view, so you could see down the sights, so you can kind of see exactly who the person's aiming at. It's really cool. I don't know, really cool stuff. And if we can get it to work right with Veil, then it's definitely possible to be able to work with other, because that's been sort of not a sticking point, but a lot of people would like to see Live in more shooters, but it's getting it to look good, because otherwise you've got kind of that like floating legs look that may not always be attractive, or just other weirdness. So we're really trying to be able to reach out to a lot of first-person VR games as well, and work on our integration so that things look a lot better. And there's also the challenge of, when you're in first person and you're streaming or making YouTube videos, and that can be a bit nauseating because you see the person's head kind of going all over the place. So having a nice smooth cam for that also helps out a lot. And
it does.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, and everyone in VR knows this, but people outside of VR probably don't. And we've said it before, like, there is no video, whether it's mixed reality, straight up video, anything, like it does not showcase VR as awesome as it is. But Live comes like the closest, I think, with the mixed reality and really showing like the person moving, but also putting them in the game. I think that's
Mhm.
amazing, and I can't wait till I can use it because I have an Android. But what do you?
It definitely
What are
makes
the
it really unique to
conversations?
watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was curious what the conversations about that from that aspect are because like I said, you can't really demonstrate the power of VR by a video. But
hmm
I
I
was
mean,
curious.
like I still remember the first time I ever saw a like mixed reality stream, and I was like, "Whoa! Like, how is this possible?" Like, my brain was kind of like, "I don't understand how this works, but it's really cool. It's really unique." So as soon as I saw it, I was like, "I have to figure out how." I think it was probably Nazy, honestly,
Yeah.
the first person I actually saw use Live, because I was just doing regular first person view that most people do, and yeah. So once I found that, I fell in love because you're right. When you're only looking at the first person view, it just looks like kind of a more sickening version of a desktop game to anyone else that's watching. I mean, depending on if the game's got like nice smooth movement added in, which is always grateful for
Like
that.
textures and stuff too, because like if you're in VR playing, the Ocarina of Time like mod for VR, like you playing in that first person on regular screen, and that's all you see in a stream of somebody playing a VR. It's just like that looks like garbage, but when you're in there, it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's the Deku tree or whatever. It's
Yeah.
called.
I can hug it. Like I can
Yep.
experience it. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's something that mixed reality at least can kind of emulate is like, look, now you can see this person in the game. You just slap them.
Mixed
Does
reality
that.
slap. Sorry.
The power of VR. We're brothers, and we've been apart for 20 years by 20 hours of driving. So when we can slap someone or slap each other,
It's
we
overdue
take it.
too.
Anyway.
Well, he does owe you money, so I can see that.
Got already.
But
If
yeah, now there's like, oh, good.
I was just going to ask you a question. Does Live have any plans to go for like business or enterprise models? One of the things that I just watched a discussion about funding for first games, but in my area, the big technology sector is centered around medical. And I could see like so much potential for Live in like, okay, you have a surgeon describing how to do a procedure and doing something with the mixed reality could be huge. If you could literally walk somebody through an aorta and saying, you need to patch this hole right here,
Mhm.
that could be a big moneymaker because like all the guys who are into game development and VR currently are all trying to, I guess, I hate to use the term, suck on that teat to get that kind of funding because I mean, they're so willing to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars into R&D. And that's something that I think Liv's got so much potential to do, especially as far as describing things as far as the medical fields are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, behind the scenes, we've actually had a couple different like educational purposes for Live at colleges or for training for. I think we had like a first aid training use for it. It just doesn't get shown much because I think we did post once a video of someone doing CPR in mixed reality, but like because our core audience has been like gamers for so long, they're just like, all right, cool. But on the back end, we are always welcoming, educators to be able to use our SDK to add into whatever their project is. We're more than happy to work with them. It just doesn't get shown. It doesn't get, I guess that's my bad too, because I haven't marketed as much, but it is really interesting to see. Like we have for our developer portal, we'll get to see, which, companies are creating accounts to be able to use our SDK. And sometimes we'll see like certain colleges or, certain medical companies. And we're like, huh, that's actually really cool. I wonder, and sometimes they're able to just use it no problem and go on their merry way. Like they don't have to, contact us for any reason. If it works for them, it works. But every now and then I'd like to see if I can follow up and be like, hey, just out of curiosity, what did you end up using it for? I mean, because it's available for, for any developer to use. We don't currently have any, like commercial licensing for it. Although we may end up changing that in the future, depending. But yeah, so far you can make an account with us just so we've got a log of you, then yeah, you can. We've got the Unity and Unreal version of our SDK. Although if it's for a Oculus native game, you wouldn't need our SDK. It would just need to be the Oculus MRC. And then it should, in theory, just work with either our Quest on PC software or with Live Mobile. But I know I don't have as much information on Oculus MRC and adding all that fun stuff and how that works. But I know that Scared Ghost has made a fantastic article, at least for Unity devs, on how to add that and get it working. I think he just did Hitmotion, which has like his game Hitmotion, which is like a fitness type game that has like bHaptics integration and Oculus MRC and like everything, every third party integration in it added, which is super cool. But yeah, that's I would like to showcase more of the schools or medical or business uses that Live has been used for. But sometimes it's also just hard to get back to the people, or they're just busy doing cool educational stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I've always been.
They just vanish, or is it me?
I'm here.
Yeah, he's gone.
Where are you here?
I'm still here.
Oh, you're
I just fell through the
under
table.
I just like looked to my left all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh, how long has that been like that?
That tends to happen around the hour mark. Things start getting weird. Oh, you just did it.
I fell in my chair. I
no.
seem. If I come back, will I pop back out?
No, you'll probably.
Well, you're right. It is at that time, and unfortunately, I got to put a kid to bed. So lovely talking to all of you.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, man.
Sorry, we shrunk.
And I'm waiting for me to fall too. But yeah, obviously, thanks for.
I like stood IRL to see if it'll help me get a little taller. Now I just feel like I'm a kid behind a big table. But yeah, I really appreciate you, stopping by and asking cool questions and for everything that you do.
I totally try to check out everything that you're working on. It's obviously lack of time and having to put kids to bed, especially around now. But yeah. No, I totally dig your channel. It's so much fun, and I kind of have to mute it when the kids are around because.
Sorry.
Oh no,
yeah,
no.
I do a potty mouth.
Trust me, I have to keep mine on the down low, so I appreciate other people using it, like living vicariously through others. But certainly keep up the awesome work. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. See you.
See you, Thomas.
Bye. How did you fix your chair?
You fell through the floor too.
You reloaded, didn't you, Wookie?
I did while you guys were
I don't even see PJ. He's just like an invisible person. Am I an invisible person? Or can you at least see?
You fell through the floor. I still see you.
Okay.
You're kind of 6 inches shorter.
So weird. I see you, but whatever.
I see you now, but yeah, it's after a little while. I think the app just starts to have a memory leak.
Wait, hang on. It's like you've been in here too long. It's too long.
Well, do you have any cool Halloween plans in real life? You dressing up or anything, or streaming any spooky?
I'm actually doing a pumpkin carving stream with just like my community in Discord because there's probably going to be, I don't know, at least a good handful of us, and I'm like, I'll just keep it. Like when I've been doing a lot more Discord streams lately, just because I don't have to worry about like impressing new people. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, if you want to be there, cool. If not, I don't have to worry about new people coming in and staying exciting and, having that like business, I guess, sort of businessy
the radio voice
on.
vibe.
Exactly. It'd just be like, oh, I just hit something. Like, this is what I'm doing now. Otherwise, my husband really loves decorating our place for Halloween and scaring kids. And we're a full bar house. So, but I hope that we do some kids this year. Last year I told them, look, I don't know how many are going to show up because pandemic and everything. And I mean, we got some like teenagers, but I was a little bummed because he has all of these, like if the kids step on a mat, then there's like this little fake electrical box that'll scare people, and he'll dress up to look like a creepy guy with a crowbar, and he's got all these like automation stuff. So he
Nice.
really loves. Sometimes he'll just stream it on his Twitch channel because we've got security cameras. So he'll just stream like the security camera so you can see kids going.
It's really cool.
Stream himself scaring the crap out of little children. That's awesome.
Already
to
terrorized our
do.
poor 2 years in a row. So at least their parents find it funny. One time they nearly
Yeah.
tripped a planner and I felt so bad. I was like,
Oh no.
but it's
Scaring
always fun.
kids.
Oh, short. I'm actually standing now. If I sit, then I'm just gone.
Stand up, down off of the balcony or the ledge, and we're about the same height now. Like just the object of the platform is just like. Bloop.
Even the secondary PJ camera shrunk a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Well, at least it auto adjusted to all of our new heights. So I guess that's good.
Well, is there anything we didn't get to talk about that you wanted to talk about, or
Sorry, I got distracted by the t-shirt cannon.
that happens a lot?
I don't think so. I think I have become a madwoman, and sometimes I bite off a lot more than I can chew. I have applied for another position in VR. I'm not going to
Wow.
live or anything. I don't know yet if it's going to be a confirmed thing, so I don't want to say anything. But it'll be another exciting opportunity. Will I be able to juggle both? I suppose we will find out. But it's one of those opportunities that I got reached out to by someone that I would be kicking myself if I didn't at least try. So we'll see. Maybe by the next time, if you have me on the podcast again, I'll be like, yeah, now I'm also doing, working with these people.
All over
this.
the map.
And your stream will
Can't
have to
help it.
become all your personal life and just see if you're breaking down or not. Like,
Pretty much.
Twitching or something. I think
Can't help
about
it. I
the
like too
end
many
of the
things.
last podcast, though. Weren't you going to some sort of jury duty? Why do I remember your podcast episode so well? I don't know. I just remember
Luckily, I
PJ
was
asking you
able-
something about jury duty.
I was able to, I think that's the last time I was invited, but luckily I kept checking every day and I didn't have to go. Yeah, I got the
right.
summons for it.
I wanted a
But,
funny
I didn't
story.
actually- I want to say that's a pretty good memory though. Cause I'm like,
yeah.
that is very specific. I'm kind of impressed.
Sometimes it doesn't remember anything. I just remember something about us talking, and I kept saying a line from an old Clerks cartoon where I was like, $5 whole for lunch or something like that. And I was like, wait a minute, that was you. And then I'm remembering it. I don't know why.
Yeah. I guess depending on your perspective, I lucked out. I didn't have to go.
Well, thanks for joining us. It's always awesome to talk to you. Like I said, and I'm not just saying this. You're one of my favorite VR people. Like on Twitter, or like I catch your stream once in a while or see your videos. It's just I love your streams, your costumes.
Oh,
Like with the Ragnarok stuff, like you're just wearing that Viking garb. Just
yeah. I
having
got a
fun
new
with it.
hat for that. Like, and I'm so
Awesome.
excited. I have to do another mixed reality thing, but I'm trying to figure out how, cause like it's a plastic Viking hat now. So I have to figure out how to get the headset and that on at the same time somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out. But my wardrobe will always be updating. More costumes.
We talked about this last time too. Like my brain is exploding. Like we talked about the Viking hat or something in your last episode for the Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's
These are
actually a
Viking
Dovahkiin beanie from Skyrim.
Nice.
At least
my brain
at least
is
that's
imploding.
easy with my headset because it's soft. But I don't know. Don't have enough costumes. More costumes.
So before we go, like, what's one game that doesn't exist that you want to exist, just so you can wear a specific style of costume or
That's a good
dress?
Ooh. I mean, these things, I guess, kind of exist. And I know that like Fallout 4 VR is a thing, but I don't know. As much as I love Fallout, I haven't tried it in VR because the control. I've tried Skyrim in VR, and it's kind of like you gotta get a lot of mods and stuff's just not perfect. But I would love like a really like post-apocalyptic VR game. Like there's been some that are like post-apocalyptic mixed with like space or like other genres, but I want just a strict like New York ruined or Los Angeles ruined. I want something like that because I have so many types of costumes that could fit for that. But if it's something super light and cheery like Boombox or I don't know, even Ragnarok, like more time periody, like it just won't fit for that. And I'm like, man, I have all this cool stuff, but I don't have a game quite yet that I can use it for.
Will After the Fall fit that?
Ooh, well, but then
kind of.
it is, but it's not like wastelandy. It's more. I am imagining more of like The Division, so maybe like a more tactical zombie hunter look. I'm talking about like full Mad Max Wastelander. Like that would be cool.
Yeah, that comes out December 9th, Wookie. We have to play it. It is Division with zombies, which we're not fans of, but it's Division in VR.
Well, I liked Arizona Sunshine a lot. Like I think there's a lack of co-op, PvE shooters in VR, so that always makes me happy. If I hear about some kind of co-op PvE thing, I'm all for it. So I cannot wait for it. So excited.
I got to Arizona Sunshine late in the game, so I've only ever been able to play it solo, and I'm always looking for someone to play co-op, but no, I played that too much. Like, damn it! But After the Fall, we'll fix that. So, same company.
Yeah, because it'll be new again, so it'll be like all new to everybody. You'll have a lot of people wanting to play, maybe multiple playthroughs. Plus, they've got, I guess, I don't know, kind of spoilery since you haven't watched Oculus Connect, but that company's planning on doing 5 more games. Was announced today. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be, if it's implied that they're going to be Oculus exclusive, or hopefully they'll also still be Steam and not Oculus, sorry, Meta. I don't know, whatever. Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Still gonna call it Oculus, but yeah. So that's something to look forward to after that game's. I don't know if that's considered the 5th one or if there's like 5 more after Until You Fall, but still cool stuff. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, because even with Arizona Sunshine, like we got into VR. Was it 2018? I think so.
November 2017.
Arizona Sunshine was kind of like, I won't say old at that point, but it was one of the original games. And they added content up until like a year ago, so it was really awesome. So
I think maybe several months ago, I jumped back in to see how it held up till today, and I was surprised because I had my index controllers, and I was like, "This works." Because sometimes you jump into like a 2017 game, and you're like, "Oh, you've got like the teleport only, and like your hands are just totally stiff and not very. There's not as much to do." But I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, they've modernized this up, and even they've got some like the DLCs that they've come out with, and those were like short but still pretty fun too. Like just more content for the game. It's always good.
Yeah. So that's good to hear. That makes me hopeful.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm doing the excellent hands.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be clapping.
Release the hounds.
Well, thanks again. I don't want to steal your time. We have a habit of like ending it and then holding the guest hostage for like another half hour, so I don't want to.
Ow. I'm always a chatty person. I just feel bad because I'm like, hopefully you're actually. I mean, at least the camera's there, but hopefully you're there because I don't know where you are anymore. So I've been looking at, bald.
I'm actually right in front of the camera. It's not seeing me either, but you're good.
Oh, okay.
I forgot he disappeared for you because you seem to be looking like right at him. So
Oh.
Viewers won't know the difference.
Hey, there we go. Well, that works. But yeah, I'm always happy to be on. It's always fun talking to you guys.
Thanks.
Do stuff. We didn't talk about Cyberpunk too long this time.
I was about to.
We didn't get to make fun of Wookiee, which is one of my favorite things. But
I did buy it on PC. Just like I kind of think I said, you grilled me for that. Who would buy it on a console?
Well, at the time it was just, bugs on bugs on bugs. Not on PC, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure I told you that then. I'm glad that you have, rectified and have since seen the light. Perhaps maybe changed to Nomad in a second playthrough. I don't know.
It quite started. This is actually my first week back on Twitter. I had a Twitter account ages ago, and I was finally like, I better start one for hanging out with podcast people. That's why I followed you just today, because it was just like the other day that I did it. So
That's all. Yeah.
I was all happy about it.
She followed me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Wookie, because he created that account, which shocked me. And I'm like, dude, your second follower was Tommy Palm. Like, dude, you don't get better than that.
I was honored. And I have his dream car still. I gotta send him a photo.
Yeah, you gotta.
But good times. I'm not the most social media savvy person. I'm just sort of like, if I'm gonna yell at, be mad about something, and my instinct isn't to go to Twitter. My instinct is to go explode a little bit, say the C word a couple times, and then just be like, I'll watch this instead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot to say for that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, even me, I try to not be angry person on Twitter because, we have a lot of people that will do that willingly. I don't need to add on to that.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to top all of them, don't do it.
Right.
I don't think I could, so. We'll be sweet.
So you need a virtual, what are those rooms where you just go and break things?
Yeah.
There's a virtual reality version of that just has full of glass bottles, like a sledgehammer that you can dent cars in or something. That's what we need. Virtual reality. I don't remember what this is a specific name. It's not a break room.
I think it might be a break room.
Stress reliever.
Yeah. Destruction room.
True story. Every time I hear that term or we talk about that, I feel bad because my previous spouse, 10 years ago, she said, I think we should do this. And she described a break room or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, that sounds awesome, but I don't think you could do that because insurance and this and that. She was legit serious, wanting to start that as a business, and I kind of talked her out of it. And then 5 years later, here they are. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm such an asshole. So
I mean, now they
I've
have
just been like, your stuff, put it in there. Let's get it out.
yeah.
Sorry.
think over some cars. That sounds super therapeutic. Or I guess maybe not. Maybe we're slightly crazier or have other people. But I find that being able to go and break stuff.
Yeah.
Write your name in a plasma cutter on the side of a van. Cursive.
The t-shirt gun is popping all over the place.
Yeah, when we have that dev roundtable in here, there's 5 of us or more. Well, 6 of us, and then there's normally a couple of people in the crowd, and there's just crap flying everywhere the entire time.
Give us toys, and everyone's gonna use.
Yep.
The Spatial Ape guy said one of those round tables, we hit more emote guns shot than the event that the previous day or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that they keep track of that. I guess why not, right?
Yep.
Had 3,000
Stat for it.
pieces of ammo shot.
Super important keynote, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, right in the guy's face. It's fun. This is great fun.
At least there's no negative ones, I guess, because that'd be boot.
It's
I know it's supposed to.
thumbs down. Imagine if they had sound effects every time they hit, "You suck," and then it just keeps repeating. You suck. Or the Halo words, triple kill.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was making up weird ones. I don't remember what she said for that, but she had like the weirdest words for like something. Royal wedding. She described it. Like what? Why would he say that?
I can see you actually shoot. I think I can see the outline of where PJ is supposed to be. Because when you hit him, it
You can see it bounce off
Yeah.
my head.
Gotta go aim in that direction. No. Yeah, occasionally I can see them bounce off something.
He's a ghost. He's a phasmophobia man.
Come here, I'll break your neck.
I think it just bounced one off you and then off Adam.
God, they've added updates to Phasmophobia. Well, I don't know. Like, you don't play. I don't know why it would be of any interest to you.
Well, we played
We did
once.
In VR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, it was your
Girlfriend's sister, and
girlfriend's
then
sister, and then Jen from Twitter. I can't remember her username, but big VR person. And I took a good video of it because it's funny because I died right away, or she died right away, then I died, and then I got a great video clip of Wookiee dying. The ghost is chasing him. He's just screaming at him.
strangling me. I'm like, my hands. Like, we didn't even look it up. No, none of the four of us knew how to play, so we didn't know if anybody was supposed to stay in the van. We just walked in there and we were like, I think the only smart one was if you said her name was Jen. I don't remember.
That's the
But she was
best way
kinda
to
like-
get into it blind.
Yeah, she was like, I think we're supposed to like pinpoint the clues and piss him off or something. You know, like we're supposed to
Yeah.
like if he's focused on a doll, we have to find the doll and like explain something about it, or find the clues. And he just started, but it turned into a don't go inside thing. It was really fun. I could look over. I'm like, hey, I'm not. The lights are going on and off. I'm not doing that. And her body just fell over. I'm like, there was a shadow there. She's like, I'm fucking dead. Great. Laugh so hard.
Yeah.
And his high res hands in my face. I was like, oh,
It was
I'm dead.
creepy,
He's
though.
dead.
And it was creepy. I was able to play it because there's 3 other people in there with me. Where it's like, otherwise I might just crawl up in a ball and cry.
Stay in the van forever.
Yep.
I mean, I still remember when I first played it. I wasn't sure I could do it, and that was like the tutorial house where it's trying to show you how to use the tools or whatever. But I had a stream plan to play it, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, I don't know if I can do this." Now I really like it. It still scares me. I'll still yell, and I feel bad for whoever I'm playing with because they get just a yelling in their ear basically when you hear the ghost whispering. But I don't know. It's always it's less scary because like the mechanics of it, but there are still things about the game that can scare you. Like he's added little things where if you're holding the candle, the ghost can actually blow out the candle. All of the like items have been reskinned now. There's like different ghost types now. There's one that's called the Twins, where it's actually 2 ghosts, so they can hunt you like two ghosts at once basically, or twice as fast or something. I don't know. There's a the parabolic microphone's been updated, so now you can hear like all the voices have been made creepier. There's just like anything that you can add to make it scarier, he's done that.
Was
Be the
there
guy in
ever
the
a
van.
character in Scooby Doo where they just stayed in the van?
I don't think. I mean, like Shaggy and Scooby were always the scaredier cats, but they still went in the buildings and stuff.
I'm a total.
Otherwise, how are they
Shaggy.
going to do their chase scenes?
Well, in my mind, in the lore of Scooby Doo, there's someone in the van that never leaves, and that's what I want to be.
Yeah, he's driving away talking. He's just ditching you, but he's like, yep, you go one more room to the right. And then he's just in town
He's
buying snacks.
He's in Taco Bell drive-through. He doesn't even know what you're doing. Yep, take a left.
You're doing great. Gotta come back. I
Burrito.
have to get some sanity pills. Oh, well, I think you should stay in a little longer. You're down the street.
There's sanity pills?
Yeah, because if you look at a Ouija board too long, or if you have like survived hunts long enough on that main board that has the map and stuff, like you can see your sanity going down. So the lower it is, the more likely the ghost is going to target you. But you can take drugs and fix that, like real life.
There's a drug for everything.
Yeah, I guess so.
Make you funnier? Just kidding.
Probably not.
Still waiting for FDA approval for that one.
I don't know who they tested on.
I'll try anything once.
Unfunny people. I don't know. I guess that would be. Somebody would have to really be okay with admitting that they're extremely unfunny.
We know if everyone knows that. Okay. If you dress up for that after the fall game and you look like a division agent, I could join in for that. I was saying earlier because like I'd wear shorts because I sweat a lot when we're playing like Pavlov, and I'd drop to a knee and spin around, and I started to get rug burn on my knees, which was like,
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
first of all, it's funny. Second of all, what does that mean in public? This is before the pandemic, but so I got like a pair of knee pads. I'm sitting there with like cargo shorts, knee pads. I'm like, all I need is a bulletproof vest and like some sort of and maybe some shades, and I'm a division agent.
or just
Halfway.
get they have those like Pro Tube. They've got the VR controller stocks, right? So you can look all super like kind of VR gun tactical with that, one of the peripherals.
About to buy one of
I
those.
don't play
but
shooters enough to justify buying those, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll spike up and play Pavlov for a night, and I'm like looking after we play. I'm looking on those sites like, which one should I get? We don't play Pavlov. Shooters.
I'm still always very close to buying a B Haptics vest, like always very close. But I'm like, I really
Yeah, it's
want
temp-
one, but how often would I use it? But I really want one because every time you see people use it, and then there's that whole world in Neos where it's just haptics, waterfall, bees, whatever. Like it's a whole haptic, the fire. I'm like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to, walk through some fire and see what that feels like. That sounds fun.
Always
Did you have a
tempting.
hap vest on like the N64 and almost a VR headset?
Yeah. A pseudo VR
Wolfers.
headset.
And a vest and like a little screen for like one of the X-Wing games so you could look around. I'm like, I'm getting
Yeah.
sick. Nerd.
Oh wow, the guns are like okay. I can see that. Like I can see the emotes, but it's like coming out of thin air. This is the weirdest thing.
God.
They look like cookies.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
Is that-
Sorry.
You gotta go to the grocery store and buy those like really cheap sugar cookies, but cheap but delicious. Always in the
These
bakery
are 0
section.
calorie.
puffy white ones that have like that thick frosting.
Yeah. I know not everybody likes those, but I like them.
I like them.
Girlfriend is a crazy person, so we have to not buy those cookies.
Yeah, that's also me. I have to if I don't want to eat something, I just don't buy it. 'Cause if it's there, I'm gonna eat it.
Yep.
Probably very quickly. Still
I'm
can't
always
see this.
conscious at work because I'll eat lunch and then I'll have a snack, and it's like I quietly try to open whatever it is. I'm like, people must think I'm just like a whatever. I don't know, but just
You're
constantly
eating too many
unwrapping
snacks?
things. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like it. I keep hitting, like standing on my own head,
That's weird.
and then I get really tall.
Oh, I seem to be still stuck. It doesn't fix me.
The walls are.
If I could get one more head in here, we could play some bongos.
Look at that one straight on. It's like, no. Needs that. Then you look like Shakespeare filming somebody.
It does look like a bust that would be in a museum. Staring into his soul.
Round,
What
man.
actually? Get a screenshot of the booth. Let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, we. I always forget before people leave. I'm like, I should have took a screenshot or two.
Sorry if I'm like in weird spot here. Forget what the Oculus. Let's see. Share. Did it do it? Oh. Of course it did it when I was looking down at my menu. So we've got a nice menu photo. Okay, I think I got it. Otherwise, I could always rip it from your VOD too.
Yeah.
Oh, super cute. Yeah, always fun to to chat with you guys. That I like your podcast because you're just very casual.
Extremely casual.
Not that I ever get asked like hard questions or anything, but like I don't know, I can appreciate just being able to sit and chat normally with people.
I like it just having the conversations and say, because sometimes people have like you an agenda and a list of questions, and that they probably answer those questions 10 times.
Yeah, especially
fun.
devs because they get on. They're on all sorts of podcasts, and I listen to them, and they all ask the same things. And it's like, well, I'm not going to ask any of that. Hey, what are you wearing? What do you got on for underwear? Like,
You didn't think I was just my avatar?
I'm only wearing a collar. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just I'm a head and some shoulders, and that's it.
I have
And
spikes on my
hands.
shoulder.
What are those weird, not butt pillows, but like the airline pillows? I'm just wearing an airline pillow of a
Oh, like the
spiked vest,
donut things.
naked. Yeah, then I'm naked. Enjoy that.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Had to mute
that mental
myself.
image.
I threw
Naked,
up in my
sweaty as
mouth.
Ouch. Don't peel me off, PJ.
Gross. You can leave now.
Leather couch.